Look how good this cat is. Look how fierce these aliens are. This animal that looks harmless to humans and animals is the bug's existence in the Marvel Universe. It's called Goose, which can swallow the entire universe, and it's Captain Marvel's pet. Captain Carol lives in Hala, the capital of Kree civilization, which is extremely technologically advanced. She has been haunted by a dream and has no memory of 6 years ago. She usually does combat training with Commander Yon-Rogg. Every time she can't beat him, she uses photon cannon to blast Yon-Rogg away. This day, Carol meets the leader of the Kree, Supreme Intelligence. The form Supreme Intelligence is the woman in Captain Marvel's dream. She tells Carol that the Kree are enemies and gives Carol a mission that is going to the border to rescue the undercover agent who was captured by the Kree. Carol's team quickly sets off. Passing through jumping spots in space, the spaceship comes to the border planet. With the cover of space torpedoes, the team sneaks in silently underwater. Carol quickly finds the injured undercover agent, but at this moment, he suddenly changes. The undercover agent suddenly gives Carol an electric shock. Other teammates are also ambushed by the Kree man. It turns out that the undercover agent is disguised by the Kree man. Yon-Rogg leads his teammates to repulse the enemy, but Carol has been taken away. The Kree hang her upside down on the instrument, read her deep memories through brainwaves. The strange thing is that in the picture, Carol is a human pilot, has a black friend, a cat, and Dr. Lawson, who is the woman in Carol's dream. When the Kree hasn't studied carefully yet, Carol has already woken up. She uses photon cannon to heat the cylinder, breaks all the locks. The sturdy combat power easily knocks down the army, but because both hands are bound, she is quickly hit away again. One misfire, two misfires, after accumulating power, the photon cannon is fired. The spaceship is also blasted out of a big hole. All the Kree have been sucked into space. Through the reacting force of the photon cannon, Carol flies back. She gets on the escaping spaceship and breaks away from the mothership. The mothership quickly explodes. Carol crash lands to C-53 planet Earth. The remaining Kree follow closely behind. They quickly turn into humans. The Earth at this time is in the 90s. Carol modifies the public phone with equipment, successfully contacts Commander Yon-Rogg, says she has come to the Earth. At this time, Nick Fury, who hasn't been the one-eyed director of S.H.I.E.L.D. yet, comes and prepares to arrest Carol. Carol says she is a member of the Kree Star Force. After hearing, Nick and Agent Coulson behind him begin to laugh. The next second, they're attacked by the Kree. Carol blasts half the wall with a backhand, then chases after them. The Kree have gotten onto the electric train. Carol speeds up and approaches, grabs onto the front of the train, breaks the glass, successfully enters the carriage. The young director of S.H.I.E.L.D. Nick Fury is chasing the train madly with Coulson. Suddenly another Coulson's voice appears on the intercom. It is only then that Nick realizes that Coulson in the car is a Kree. The two run into a bus during the fight. The Kree is dead on the spot. Carol on the train sees the smiling old lady, punches at her face. The old lady kicks around, turns and runs. Carol is pulled by the passengers. When she chases again, the Kree has become a man, jumps on the train roof. Catching up, Carol is kicked away, then immediately fires two cannons in return but doesn't hit. When she gets to the train station, the Kree has disappeared in the crowd. Then Carol knows about the Pancho's bar from the memory card dropped by the Kree. Coming to the bar, memories of the past flash before her eyes. After a while, Nick appears. Carol asks him to tell his awkward incident, proves that she isn't a Kree. Nick asks how can she prove it. After mutually trusting, Nick takes Carol to the Pegasus Project military base. They see Goose in the corridor. Carol smashes the door lock, comes to the archives. The two find the contents of the Pegasus Project. Dr. Lawson leads the research and development of the Lightspeed engine, but in the test, she and one of the pilots dies. The Lightspeed engine was also burned down. According to Dr. Lawson's notes, she is a Kree and the pilot who lost her life is Carol. Then Nick's boss rushes to the base, asks to interrogate Carol alone, but Nick discovers the boss is a Kree. Nick isn't his opponent at all, is beaten into a dog when encountering him. Fortunately, Carol comes in time to save him, then the two pilots the spaceship to leave. Goose also quietly gets on the spaceship. According to the coordinate, the two find Carol's friend Maria. Maria's daughter Monia is the hero that Wanda later becomes, Spectrum. During the conversation, Carol leans that she is an Earthling. At this moment, a Kree appears. He lets them listen to the recording in the Black Boss when the plane crashed. Carol and Dr. Lawson tested the Lightspeed plane but was shot down by a UFO. Wounded Dr. Lawson was shot and knocked down. It was Yon-Rogg the Kree who shot the gun. He came to rob the Lightspeed engine. In haste, Carol blows the engine with a shot. The overflowing energy entered Carol's body. Yon-Rogg, who didn't get the engine, could only take Carol, who was in a coma, away. It turns out that the Kree are the victim. They were killed all for opposing the rule of the Kree. After knowing the truth, Carol decides to help the Kree find engine power. They drive the spaceship into space, to Dr. Lawson's experimental base in a near-Earth orbit that appears out of thin air. In the base, Goose and Carol find the cosmic cube. The Kree also meets his family. But when he hasn't been happy yet, Yon-Rogg brings his people and they surround everyone. Yon-Rogg uses an energy suppressor to control Carol, then connects her to Supreme Intelligence. Supreme Intelligence wants to continue to brainwash Carol, but she underestimated Carol's ability. Carol hasn't succumbed easily since she was a child. Carol stands up again, gets rid of the suppressor, then enters the binary form. Energy flows throughout her body. With golden light in her eyes, with both arms shake, Yon-Rogg and others are all blown away. Captain Marvel takes the cosmic cube, saves Nick and others, then show the true form of Captain Marvel. Nick daren't touch the cosmic cube. Goose opens its mouth. Then Captain Marvel and Yon-Rogg's team start the battle to get time for Nick and the Kree to run away. Maria pilots the spaceship, takes everyone back to Earth. A Kree drives a warship in hot pursuit. Seeing they're going to be shot, Maria drives the spaceship into the canyon. A wave of reserve operations destroyed the Kree's warship. Yon-Rogg, who catches up, is also beaten by Captain Marvel, then falls to the ground. At this time, Ronan, the strongest fighting force of the Kree, leads the fleet to the Earth through the jumping point, launches a missile to the Earth without saying a word. Captain Marvel rushes up, throws the missile back, then immediately expands the open mode. Captain Marvel rushes into the warship, directly passes through, then comes in front of Ronan. Double fists and one energy spread out. Come here. Ronan is so scared, drives the spaceship and runs away. Back on the ground, Yon-Rogg knows he can't beat the captain, wants to fight with bare fists, but Captain Marvel shoots him away, then throws him into the spaceship like grabbing a chicken, sends him back home. Nick here sees the crisis is over, excitedly rubs Goose up, but unexpectedly is scratched and his left eye is blinded. Coming back to Maria's home, Captain Marvel gives Nick a pager, tells him if Thanos bullies him, calls her. Then Carol flies into space, leads the Kree people to find a new home. Nick, with one eye left, officially launches the Avengers project in S.H.I.E.L.D.